Hello everybody, Glenn here from The Camel, and today we're going to look at how to start using the Dynamic Catalog app. Our Dynamic Catalog app uses collections on your website to be presented, all with search and filtering functions. Now to get started, just proceed on opening the app. If you still don't have an existing collection, it's alright since you will be seeing instructions on how to go ahead with creating one. For this example, I'll be creating an internal collection of my own. Now there are 4 main things that I need for my data to have: the name or title, description, image, and the page URL. Let's say I wish to create a collections for different cars. My name here will be, of course, the name for that car. For its description, I'll just add this for now. I'll leave the type of those as rich text. Those can be used basically for any text. And then for the image, I'll go ahead and change the type of this to image, so I can add my images from the site. If you have a URL for your image, you can change the type to rich text, and that works as well. Finally, for the page URL, this is basically a unique identifier of a row on your collection. I'll also throw another data in here and name it tags. If, for example, I have a category for my cars. Now I have a collection ready, I can now jump again to the app. Once I've opened the app, it will show me a list of collections that I currently have. Right now, we can see the collection that we created earlier. Let's go ahead and configure our app for this collection. Now, since the data that we need are present here, we can just simply select from the drop-down what corresponds to each one. And since we wish to add a tag for this, we can go ahead and click Add Another Field and select Tags. There's also a bunch of things that you can add here. Let's say if you have a price for each of your cars, you can simply add a price for it. That also works if you have a job listing and wish to display the salary for each job. You can check all of these options since you can see them immediately on this preview right here. To know what each element on the card corresponds to, you can simply hover on the question mark icon to know what those are. You can also change how the card looks. Right now, we have 3 layouts for each card. If you're all good with it, simply hit Save Changes. Moving on, we can also configure the filter for our dynamic catalog. It may look confusing at first, but it's basically like configuring the main layout. We'll just have to select from our data on what parameters the filter will take. For this example, I'll just select tags since I want users to be able to filter out depending on the category of the cars. Again, I can also add various options from here. If I have a price for each car, I can add the price filter and connect that to my pricing data. The minimum and maximum values that you can see here can be configured on the widget. If you don't wish to add any more filters, simply hit Save Changes again. Since you haven't configured the data for D2, D3, D4, and D5, they simply won't show up, so it's all good. Now, to use the widget, simply head over to the Widgets tab and select Dynamic Catalog from the list. Drag it over to your site, and to get started, select which collection to use from your list of collections. We can also change our dynamic page URL slug here. This is basically the name for your listings. For this example, I'll just simply change it to this one. The currency is when you have a price present on your data for indicating the currency that you're using. Since we don't have a price for this example, let's just leave it as it is. You can also control what the users can search. For example, I'll try to search for the description of the green car. Right now it won't show me anything, but once I've enabled description here, I can then finally search for it. For the filter range settings, here's where you can change the maximum and minimum values, like for the price that I mentioned earlier. For the button settings, you can choose to hide it or not, or to open the dynamic page in another tab. We also have a number of design options to choose from. Feel free to experiment and explore. Finally, if you have any concerns or suggestions with the app, you can head on over to the Contact Us tab and submit your message. Thank you and have a wonderful time using the dynamic catalog.